Dr. Bay Williams, you couldn't be hanging with a cooler crew than these awesome math teacher leaders here from
Ashley wins. Ashley wins. I understand. The 4-year-old in the bed, good, she wins.
Now, I will say that if I had to actually like get up and get dressed and like go to a building and have to deal with having to clean blankets every morning, I'd be way less happy. So it's nice that when she does have an accident, it's not a rush.
All right, Jenny, all of these wonderful things that are coming in. Oh, look, and Jenny learned to ride a horse English style. Yeah.
Learning.
All righty, so I'm going to turn it over to you. We have lots of learning to do, and welcome so much, Jenny. We're glad that we'll be learning from you today.
Thank you, Kelly. Give me a second here to get my screen going. I have prepared a 55-minute lecture, so I hope you have your pencil and paper ready for some note taking.
You are so funny. You are so funny. And after that, there's a quiz.
I know, I'm looking down because I have no poker face. All right.
That's right. The participant list just went to 5, Jenny. Just saying, the participant list just went to 5.
But honestly, one of the things that make engagement difficult is our time pressures, right? We're like, we only have the students for 45 minutes and it takes longer to figure stuff out than to just tell students stuff, right? We know these pressures. That's the pressure I'm feeling tonight. So give me a little sympathy here. And then apologies in advance that the discussions I wish we could have for quite a bit of time will be limited to about 10 minutes. So happy about this cohort and the importance of the capacity that it is building here in Kentucky. So let's dig in. This is the framework that you all hopefully know well, but just want to help us see that what we're going to do today is focus on specifically the focus zone engaging students. But always connect it back to the model. So we'll be coming back to this model at the end. So engaging students. Please also enter in the chat, if I'm talking too fast or if you don't understand something I'm saying, please I need to get my chat showing. But this is, if you had a chance to read the overview, it's a shorter one. But this is the primary focus on what I'm going to focus on today. We're going to do a deep dive into this model, even though there's a lot more around engaging students than just this model. But to me, this provides a useful tool for supporting other teachers we're working with. So to me, from a coaching perspective, this is a nice model to dig into. So I would like to start with opening up the chat. And I'm just curious what you would consider like a low cognition, low participation example. So I got my chat open now. So yeah, note taking. Right. All of these are examples where they're not really doing a higher level thinking and they're probably sitting in their seats, right? Like moving a pencil doesn't count as engagement. All right, nice. All right, let's move on to the next one. What about, and by the way, does anyone else think that Himalayan need to take a math class? Because this numbering is totally wacko. Maggie and I have we have mathematized this, by the way. I'm happy to share this, where the quadrants are numbered correctly. But we had to use their version. So I just want to recognize to all of us math folks that this is not a coordinate axis at all in terms of the way it's positioned. But anyways, okay, having said that, low cognition, high participation. Give some examples.
Yeah,
These are all great examples, right? They're doing something fun, right? They're getting up, they might be going and talking to somebody, but what they're talking to them about is what answer did you get, right? They're playing a game, or they're doing something interactive, but what they're thinking about or talking about is a low level cognitive sort of thing. All right, let's move on to the next category. Quiz trade, Mike, that's a good example. Although quiz trade could be something more demanding, but it's hard because you don't really have the time. High cognition, low participation. Test could be, depending on what's being asked on the test. Right, could be open problem. Actually, Funda, it could be in somebody's reach, but they have a really rich task that's causing them to think at a higher level, but they're just sitting at their desk working on it, right? An error analysis, that's a beautiful example. When you're looking at errors and you're trying to make sense of the problem, so it's higher level, but they might just be sitting there on a piece of paper doing it. And Catherine, thank you for bringing up this whole level of interest weaves in here. And just please keep track today of all these all these extras that we still want to talk about as a group, because that is an important one that we won't touch on very much today, but interest is certainly a critical element to engagement. Yeah, really good ideas. All right. And finally, what might be some examples of high cognition, high participation? Nice ideas. And somebody earlier had 4 corners up here. The 4 corners could be, right? Depending on what they're talking about in their corners. If they're in a corner and they're like comparing something or doing something higher level, then it is also both. Projects tend to be very active, right? They're getting up and getting materials. They're working with their peers. They might be going in to check in with another group. So it doesn't have to be like physical movement around the room per se. They could be just engaged on the floor, moving over to here. 3-act tasks would be an example of how they could be really engaged. All right, so good. So this is my sort of pre-assessment where you either contributed to this conversation or now you're up to speed if you didn't have a chance to read this because of course our lives are crazy busy or you're moving to China. So I would like to introduce you to a visual that's not in the chapter that I've been working on. And in general, what I'm going to do in this session today is we're going to start with the vertical axis here. We're going to first think about cognition, then we're going to move over and do this participation piece. So when we get to the participation piece is when that homework will come into play, sharing a tried and true favorite. But right now we're talking about lower level or higher order thinking. So I have found that people use high level, low level at random. And I'm not sure if the teachers we're working with as coaches or we ourselves know exactly what it means. Certainly our pre-service teachers that we work with. So I just decided to make myself a little table of all the models that people refer to. So we've got Smith and Stein's levels of cognitive demand. We've got Bloom's taxonomy, depth of knowledge. And let's just go retro and not leave out Skimp, who talked about this classic piece about instrumental understanding, just understanding like how to do an algorithm versus that relational understanding, being able to make connections. So I think that's still relevant today. So you're not chatting about this yet. I'm giving you independent think time. This is critical to engagement from an equity lens. So just looking at this model, what do you notice? Write down 3 things. And this is a little 2-minute timer down here on the bottom that I'm going to start. So that's your time frame.
Hello.
Right, so that's been your 2 minutes of think time. There's a sidebar happening about skimp. I think sometimes it's really interesting when people are like, well, this new math, new math, new math, and then you read something from the 70s that's saying, hey, we need to get out of this rut. But it's a good piece. I'll find the piece and I will share it. All right, so you've had some time to put some thoughts down here, and we want to talk, right? We want to be engaged. So we're not going to be doing, we're on our laptop, or other computers. So here's what I'd like for you to do. You can take a picture of this screenshot. You're going to go to your groups, and you're going to quickly assign roles. So, whoever gets there first, you get to be the boss. So you can just tell people who's going to tally, who's going to record, who's going to report, and who's going to moderate. All right. So the rest of the instructions are right there.
You got it. Pam's putting us in groups. So have your room ready. On your mark, get set, go. Right, Leanne, did you get a room? Yep. Kristen, did you get a room? Hey, Tonda. Yay. Pam, you may have to assign Tonda a room because she came in after the breakout room. So you'll see her at the top, and check on Leanne.
Kelly, I had the mini session. So
I know you did. I know
Okay.
you did. You're multitasking like we are, hard as we can.
Okay.
Zoom after Zoom after Zoom. Thank you, Tonda.
Everybody is assigned to rooms.
Okay. All right, beautiful. All right. I'm going to go into my room right now. If they get kicked out, you know that they'll come back in, and then you
Right.
back in
And
there.
they'll appear as unassigned, just like,
Candace, here comes Candace. Hi, Candace. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey,
Hey, welcome. We're glad
I'm still
you're
in my car.
You're
So
okay,
I
girl.
may have to disconnect once I get home and reconnect, but I figured I would try. My service will cut out here in a second.
Okay, all right, that's awesome. We're going to push you into a group. You can let them know what's going on. We're so glad that you're connecting on any level. So here you go. And Pam, we've got, what did I say? Close to 80? Did I say 78?
well, with Candace and
Chonda.
Rhonda, we should be up to 80
Okay.
because I had 78 before they came in.
Okay. I'm gonna take a good look at the who is in and who's out. Because we should be at 92. You know, that's my magic number. And so I like that. I saw your spreadsheet. So I know you'll just go in there and update that, and then I can go back
Right. I've been going through and trying to mark everybody off
Yeah.
on my attendance sheet, and then I'll update that spreadsheet.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at that line, try to figure out who's kind of dropping out. I did reach out to several of the crew the other day, and I see a couple of them in our sessions, so they know. Just come as you can. It's grace and mercy. Donna Davenport.
Hello. Oh, I was
Pam's gonna-
hoping that Jenny still had that PowerPoint up. I was going to take a screenshot of it. I wanted to see it again.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can help you. I've got a. We need those questions, right? You hopped back out so you could see the questions.
We got the questions. We wanted the actual chart again.
Okay, hold on. Can I take a picture of it and text it to you?
That'd be lovely. Thank you.
And then I don't know what you do with it that way.
I know.
You might be the only one that sees it, but. Okay, there it comes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, yep, there it comes.
Kelly, are you here?
She went to a room.
Oh, okay. I think we went to these breakouts at like 4:58-ish. I think it's ready
It was
for one
5:01 on my watch.
when we went. Okay.
Yeah, when we went. So I was going to hit to bring them out because your slide said 12 minutes.
Yeah. Actually, let's keep it to 10 because this one's not going to take as long. Yeah. Let's
Okay, so
just
another
have-
minute and I will hit bring them out and they get a minute to come back out.
That's right. That's right. That'd be good.
Okay.
Our time's just going to fly. This is the smallest of their conversations. And I thought I had shaved 2 minutes off of this one. I did it on the next slide, but yeah. I figured the first time they're going to do some introductions to each other as well. So just wanted to have a little buffer there. But yeah, okay.
Okay. I clicked to end the rooms. So those should
Okay.
be back in
When
about
they-
a minute.
When they go back the next time, it'll be to the same group, but the third time we'll mix the groups up.
Okay.
As everybody's coming back in, if you'll double check your mic, see if you're muted or unmuted. We'll go ahead and have everybody mute for the background noise.
Except for the speaker, of course, because I can hear my background noise.
That'll be the cat. Jenny has a cat that likes to make an appearance. She will walk across the screen to do that. But Jenny, it looks like everybody's back.
Okay. All right. So we have reporters appointed. And this is what we're going to go one by one reporters for quick share. So this is going to be in the chat is the most efficient way for us to do this today. So if you would, reporters, just go ahead and enter into the chat the number one noticing that happened. Okay, did we get, yep, we got a number of groups shared out. Okay, now we're ready for 2. What did you notice, or what makes a task a low task? Yeah, so many good ideas. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the word memory and remember keep coming up again and again and again. You're going to see that model here in a minute, and you're going to see that that is common across all of these models. Every time we're saying to a student, remember this, remember this, remember this, that's a low level engagement. So that can be part of what we're doing, but it can't be most of what we're doing. And unfortunately, if we spend a lot of time in math classrooms, we find that a lot of it is remember this, remember that, remember this, remember that. And we need to shift our practice. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What makes a task high level? What's the essence of it? Analyzing, thinking. Yeah, I love the word thinking. Let's just get kids to think. Apply, create, right. And you're sharing words that, again, occur across the frameworks. So it doesn't really matter if we're talking about Bloom's or SCEMP or the cognitive demand, that these are common features that this thinking is happening. Any other cool thing you want to share?
One of the teachers in my group shared a cool thing that I thought of what it looked like in her mind. Thinking about the high cognitive engagement looks messier in the classroom. Those because the kids are doing things and they're doing the thinking, and not as clean, so to speak, as a low level classroom.
So true. It's harder to pull off. It's harder to plan for. It's harder to navigate. And it's harder to pull off in a 45-minute classroom. But if we don't ask students to think at a high level, they won't. Or I should say, they might not. We can't expect them to. Right. All right. Wonderful. All right. So here's the thing we're going to do next. You're going to be going back to your same groups. Here, what I'm going to give you these instructions in general, but what happens, because so much of math is at a low level, we have to be able to think, how could we just tweak something like a regular thing? And I'm only giving you a few minutes in the breakout because I want you to be thinking about, I don't exactly want to call them quick fixes, but they are just ways to, without a lot of time, change a task from this remember, memorize sort of thing to these other words we saw where they're thinking or creating or doing those words that you shared for high level. So how could you change something up? So you ready for your instructions? We are going to well, sorry, let me let me go back to this. I've added a column here. So I've added a column from these researchers that came up with these 3 levels, but they specifically speak to procedures. So let's just have a look at this in terms of fluency. At the low level, it's remember the algorithm, and it is being able to just carry it out, correctly and get a correct answer, but basically just remembering the steps, right? So this is all remembered, just like we saw across all of these other models. When we move to tell why an algorithm works, we're already moving it up to higher level. When we apply the algorithm to a situation, Mike Breakout was talking about real life situations. When we notice connections, we see how one strategy is like another strategy. When we see if it's reasonable and how we know. And then if we want to go up to that 3rd level, we're asking ourselves things like, is this a good method? Oh, how are these methods alike and different? Oh, can I use this method over here? It's that really high level evaluation and transfer. All right, so with that in mind, and you can take a picture of this screen if you would like to. There goes the cat again. They love it when I start talking to my computer. It's very interesting to them. And for you, okay, so with this in mind, now come your instructions for your group. You're going back to the same group. You can keep the same roles or you can trade it up. I would suggest, you trade it out, but it's up to you. How can you change a task? So there's a Jamboard right here. You're going to go to the Jamboard and you're going to see the part. You're going to see this. This is my first Jamboard ever, so cut me some slack. But you're going to see this basically. And what I'd like for you to do is post a typical task. Just pick, like say, we're going to do 4th grade adding fractions. Just pick something really quick, put it in its original form in that quadrant 1, and then think about how you could change it up and then paste it up higher and put it with a high level of engagement. All right. Understand the task?
We do. Jenny, will you put your link? I'm working hard and I'm ending up with a different link. Will you put that link in the chat for them?
I will. I'm going to have to escape here and grab it.
Grab it.
So this is my first time doing this. Like I said, it's just a little tricky. Whoops.
Are we going to work on the same Jamboard or are we going to make our own copies?
There are 20 posted. So if you're in group 2, then use the second Jamboard.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm actually on the Jamboard. I'm just going to go straight from there. That seems to make sense, right?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
All right. I hope it works. If not, no big deal. You can have your recorder just do it the old-fashioned way. The recorder can just, write in the book.
I think it's good. I think you.
Well, do we have editing privileges?
I said it with editing privileges, I think.
Okay,
I mean,
I couldn't. Okay, yeah, we do. Okay, good. It is. Awesome.
Whew. Okay.
Yes.
This is another 10-minute estimated 10-minute task, and I'll see you back here in 10 minutes.
All right, awesome. I'm sorry, I was trying to grab that thing and it was doing the old one. I think my computer wasn't realizing that you had updated, but I got in great.
Oh, shoot. So we can go to the Jamboards and just
Watch them. You can go in and then you can click on the button and you can see them as they're.
All righty. This is where, do I have Pam's, was it Pam who was sending the 1-minute notice out?
Yes.
That we can sort of monitor here if 10 minutes is target, but if they're like not really ready, we could give a little bit more time. But I mean, I have, as you know where I'm at, Kelly, in my session.
Yeah, I see it. I'll watch that a little bit. And I'm gonna go in the PowerPoint and grab that second one that you were using so that we don't.
Okay. Or I could do it if you want me to.
I think I got it.
I have found that they're going to be at the task movement. is supposed to be finishing just now. So I'm just about, 8 minutes behind. We'll be fine.
You're good. You're good. And so I'll be ready to stick that right in the chat.
Okay.
Yep. If I'm in, I'm
perfect.
on. Mhm.
Miss Kelly, do you mind to put me back in breakout room 12? I got kicked out when I was joining the Jamboard.
Absolutely.
And who
Thank
was
you.
that?
Ma'am, that's Jackie Wygant. And Jackie, what room did you need to go back in?
12, please.
Okay, so let me look.
Priscilla, you doing okay? Did you get an invite or did you get kicked out?
I haven't found Jackie yet
Okay.
because she's not unassigned, so. Sorry, Jackie.
It's okay. I was joining the Jamboard and tried to do the room at the same time, and then I got kicked out of the whole thing.
Okay,
take it
'cause
personal.
you're not showing up as unassigned, that's the problem. So I need to find out where you are.
I'm gonna give her some directions. So Jackie, in your toggle bar, go to breakout. Click that word breakout room and see if it pops back up.
It says host invited you to room 17. It's a different one. I don't mind to go there.
I can change you to here, I'm gonna move you to
That's why.
12.
That's why we couldn't see
There
it.
you go.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Jackie.
So note to ourselves, this would be a quicker task if I would have already dropped in the low level task in that bottom box and just used a whole bunch of some different ones instead of having them create. But
they're really thinking.
It's hard to just think, even just decide.
But looking at those, seeing some of the Post-it notes. Oh, look, number 6, they're doing screenshots.
Yeah, so I think I'm on 5 right now, and it looks like they have
Okay.
pasted in actually even the standard and like a worksheet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, nice.
That's the difference in the glasses and the no glasses. So
That's right.
it's 5, but it's I'm calling it 6 because I can't see.
Look at them go. It's so fun to just watch them do this.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay,
Hi, Nikki
I had to
Thompson.
leave school. I had to get off my Chromebook. Can I get in breakout room 18?
You absolutely can.
Thank you.
All right, pal. I appreciate your diligence.
There she is.
There she is. You be safe. That is so fun.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they're interpreting the work differently.
Pam, do we have 20 groups?
Yes.
Okay. Room 20's in there talking. I know that they're quietly doing their stuff.
That's right. Which actually is a good way to do it, to think what task do we want to use,
Okay.
what do we want to do to it? And then
Or I
just
see from my teacher sees what I'm thinking about.
And actually what some of them are doing is literally just putting an example in each quadrant that's a different, and I was really just hoping for the 2 left, the cognition, not really worrying about engagement at this point. But I see we're getting lots of good stuff.
They're very dedicated, so smart.
Yeah, so smart. I mean, just hardworking to be thinking. I mean, this is,
Unprecedented times, as we say.
yeah, unprecedented times and still trying to get better
That's right. That's right.
when we could just be trying to hang on. It would be wonderful to be able to have deep discussions about some of the things that are posted in certain quadrants and have debate over whether we think they go there automatically or if it's a sort of an it depends sort of thing. Because certain things like, you know, that's not good.
I hear you. You all right?
Okay. Oh, our video is frozen. I thought I got cut off.
Oh, no.
Oh, whew.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
goodness,
no,
I was
but I
about to
think-
clap. I was about to
Yeah, yeah.
like restart. So
Like I can hear
that
you say,
happened in
oh.
yeah, that happened in my last Alaska webinar.
Oh,
And I was, you know, I had to restart my computer. It took forever because it was my computer froze.
yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
get it. I have one of those tonight too.
Oh, yeah. Jenny, you burn the candle at all ends.
So we are at
Today-
8
today, but
minutes.
I'm not everywhere.
Okay.
We're at 8
I-
minutes.
yeah, I-
You want them to come out at 10?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so. I'm seeing activity. I know they're going to feel like they were rushed. But we want to get to the engagement side of things too. So I know they, you know, hopefully have been able to, they're going to want to share their tried and true.
Yes, they do. And I bet they've done that.
Yeah. So I definitely, I think that's going to be good.
Okay. So Pam, you go ahead were we at the 1 minute closing the rooms?
We are now.
Good.
So I've closed them. They've got 60 seconds now.
You are now a Jamboard expert.
So proud of myself. But what I'm worried about here is I'm kind of frozen up. Are you
You
hearing
are.
me?
I can hear you, but you're a little bit frozen.
Yeah. I'm going to.
I can hear you clearly. So even though your video.
I'm going to get my family to get off their Wi-Fi. That could be maybe an issue. I'm turning mine off. I might have to switch to something, but I am frozen here.
Interestingly enough, I can hear you. So if I could launch your PowerPoint and you could talk to me in the background.
Okay.
Oh, you're back. So we do want to say Jenny's having a tad bit of technical. She's frozen internet over there in the suburbs of Louisville, over there in Oldham County.
All right. So now I've got to come.
Oh yeah, Danielle, a little frozen internet over there in JCPS. What you're saying?
We were missing 2 of our teachers.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, are we back?
We are back. We are 100% back.
All right, and I will have chat open here. So if all of a sudden I start freezing up, Kelly is ready to jump in and take over. And just send me a note in chat.
Panic ensues.
Whew. All right, so we're going to shift gears now. We have been talking about engagement. I am so impressed with what I saw in the Jamboards. So much still to talk about there, right? Like to ensure that it's actually high level cognitive demand and things like that. But so many good ideas. So you can view across other people's Jamboards as well. But tonight we don't have enough time to do that. So let's switch over to engagement. We're going to now be thinking about shifting from low participation to high participation. And remember, this is about your physical participation and your verbal participation and things like that. So that's the direction we're going to be moving. So this is the time to share, exchange ideas and that sort of thing. You're going to go back into, I was thinking about, I don't know how easy it is, but I was going to mix you up and send you to a new breakout so you can talk to some other people. But this is what your homework was. And if you weren't able to get to your homework, of course, you know, we all are about grace here. But in that homework, you can see in the small print here is what the homework was. And so at this point, if you just share a tried and true, you're good. And then a new to do. That PDF that was sent to you that Kelly is going to pop into the chat has hundreds of strategies. Now, some of them are for professional development. Today, we're just talking about things that could work with students in the classroom. So you ready to go to your groups and do some sharing? Here's what you're going to do. I have that little icon is one of my tried and true favorites. The go high five somebody and talk about something, compare strategies or whatever. So I'm going to have to cut your time short in this group or we won't have time to debrief. So it says 12 minutes there, but you're really going to get 8. So you're going to have to, share quickly. There is a Jamboard, so you can all write at the same time on that Jamboard. And so we probably won't do that much reporting out, but just put your things in the Jamboard, your new ideas, everybody can type, or your tried and true ideas and your new ideas, and they'll be there for all of us to peruse and look at. Take time to then explain an idea that other people don't know. So if you're like, oh, that's one of your tried and true, I don't even know that. I mean, share what that is. And if everybody already knows it, then you don't need to, right? Okay, so we are back into your groups. The Jamboard in the chat. Kelly, are you doing that or do you want me to do that?
No, I'm trying to. Oh. I am trying to pull the right one. I have the total participation techniques.
All right, I am going to put it in the chat. I just have to get past all my other.
Right.
Actually, the easier thing is just to actually go straight to the Jamboard.
Right.
And then come back to the chat.
I'm sorry, I had number 2 in there.
That's okay.
The co-pilot.
All right, so 8 minutes and I'll see you back here at 5:40. And on screen is what you'll see when you get to the Jamboard. Wonderful.
Yeah, I clicked right on it, went straight to it. So thank you for that.
Okay, I will stop share then. Whew. Yeah, next time I'll try to get those links maybe in a, like side thing ready to post. We could have those sitting there on the chat. Although when people join a Zoom late, they can't see the previous.
Right.
So you have to really wait.
Yeah.
Sorry, it keeps kicking me out.
You're good. We'll put you back in. So we've got you in twice. Remind me what room were you in?
1.
1. Oh, easy. Pam, will you put
Thank you.
her right back in room 1? That's working great. Those Jamboards, sometimes what'll happen is when you get those many people on a Jamboard, it freezes. They're not complaining about that. So I think it's going as it should. I also think that Jamboard knows that and fixed it. Google knows it and fixed it. We had a little trouble to start with, and now we don't have much trouble with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's so many tools out there like this one that were probably used by a very tiny percent of the population.
And then all of a sudden.
Overnight, they're like, what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you a trick on the back of your, on the back of that Jamboard link. Do you see where it says /viewer, la, 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 la? The trick is if after / from viewer back, if you type the word copy, you have forced it to make a copy. And so if there's ever a time that you don't want someone in your original, you can ask them to make a copy. That's how we do all of that in
Okay,
the,
so you cut. So what I would do is copy only to the / before the word viewer.
that's right, EC / and then type in COPY. And obviously it's going to make a copy, but it's when you do your games, you know, when you're sharing the games on the Math Tech Fluency website, I keep thinking about all the work that you do.
Yeah.
See that the ending of the Jamboard says copy because we make a copy of it.
Yes. Yes.
So, but that would mean that everybody has their own individual thing.
So I copy the
Really
link to the / before the word viewer, and then, or I have it highlighted, and then I just hit copy.
No, you type in the word COPY after it. You're coding.
Oh, so I delete the word viewer and everything after.
That's right. And you type in the word COPY.
Gotcha. Oh, that's super helpful.
And so then when you say copy paste into the link, then that forces them to make a copy. That's as if you were doing your games. This one is a collaborative tool. So you don't want them. They don't want this. You don't want them to have, you know, so it doesn't matter. So they're editor viewer. You gave them the whole thing because you got 20 slides on there so we can see each other's stuff. But when you do your games,
yeah,
to give those away in Alaska, I keep thinking you're doing that tonight in Alaska. I don't know, you know, there might be some.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I'm showing them some Jamboards tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the 4th webinar so we've been to the site a couple of times. We haven't used a Jamboard, so with your help, I've practiced. I'm gonna try it. It'll be the first time for them. They don't even it's a very interactive group, but coming through the network, they don't do small group breakout. So all the activities through the chat, and they're all muted. So it's a different. So the Jamboard provides an opportunity for
a little collaboration.
Yeah, a little bit more just engagement, participation, and of course they're doing distance learning as well. So
I felt some of those examples that Funda gave us were spectacular at CAMT.
Oh, for sure.
Google Slides, some of those Google Slide participation ways.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just, did you record that? Because, oh no, I already asked, I think I already asked about that because I was just like absorbing every word, taking notes and thinking, wait, I need this, I need each of these. I need like a time to do each of these. It was so good.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether they did or not. I'm having her do it with the RCs on Monday. She's doing a 1-hour version of that from 9 to 10 on Monday.
So good.
What's the time frame? I've got
should be getting their 1 minute notice.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and get my PowerPoint back up.
Okay. And your internet's good. So
my internet is good.
Whoever you told to get off Xbox, it worked.
My husband's on the job. He knows when I'm doing these things. That it's just hard. So.
I get that smile on my face when I see everybody popping back in.
Yep.
We're at 22. I'm sure that here they come. Here they come. We got our 60 seconds was up. Everybody's pushed back
We
out.
were not
That's
I
right.
know.
They're down
Look,
to the-
Kelly's like,
yeah,
why'd you close my room?
I know, right?
Some of us were
So-
still in mid-sentence, yeah.
Right. I mean, we can definitely see how if we're working with teachers, that this is a whole day's task to really think about engagement, and maybe even the focus for a semester or a year.
Are you guys
Because
fighting?
it's so critical, and we're doing it for 55 minutes or whatever, and we're down to 5, so I'm gonna keep going. So this is the kind of activity that that you just did, that it can that we could do with participants, right? And what I like to do is have teachers bring something from their classroom, something from their textbook, and really debate, where does it really go? What does it really mean to be high participation? What does it really mean to be high cognitive demand? It's not just harder, right? So clarifying that. And so as we start doing that, we can start really brainstorming how you can take all those participation techniques and marry it with high cognitive demand. So students are getting the enjoyment, but also making sure they're thinking at high levels. So the other thing in the chapter that we're not going to get to is really thinking about how we can do this through our coaching. So we really focused on tool 4.2, to be honest. That's basically what we've done. But then you can go into observing engagement techniques. There's an observation tool for that. And then debriefing. So teachers could capture video, and then we could discuss, opportunities for engagement, things like that. So I'm going to skip that for now and just keep going, because I want to give us some time to connect this back to why we're doing engagement, not just so it's fun for people. So I'm going to give you basically 1 minute. And what I'd like for you to do is to take a look at your shifts in classroom practice. And remember, you have a bookmark. Here it is, that has those shifts. And I don't want the simple answer of it impacts all of them. I want you to really look at those shifts and identify a couple, 2, 3 that you think are going to be really impacted. If you're focusing on engagement, what classroom practices are going to shift? All right, I'm going to stop talking and you can start thinking. 1 minute of think time. All right, I've got my 2-minute timer going, but I shaved off a minute because that's all we've left. So you guys are done. So some of you have already started to enter into the chat, and please do enter. Which shift where are you seeing the movement? Right, 4, which is representations. I should have my shifts open. You think it happened? Yeah, the discourse, right? Because they're going to be engaged. They're going to be talking. And definitely 2, I love that 2's there. 2 is so important, the setting the tasks and so forth. All right. So, so they're shifting some practices, and across all of our different ideas, you're going to see almost all of them represented, but we really see the importance of selecting tasks to have that high level cognitive demand, and really thinking about the engagement, right? We've got to make sure we have that. All right, let's do the same thing. I'm going to give you a minute to think about the way that engaging students opens up opportunities to learn the math practices. So you can refer to your math practice bookmark. And can you give me 1 more minute? I see we're at 5:45. Otherwise, I understand. We know our math practices. We probably don't need think time. Which of the math practices jump out to you? Just go ahead and chime into the chat. If students are working on cognitive engagement and physical social engagement, 3 for sure. 3 is it. And they're making sense because they're thinking, right? You all said that was one of the distinguishing characteristics of higher level was thinking. That's 1 and 3. Yeah, you all got this. All right. So I just want to close with saying, what else did you notice? Because there's a lot in this chapter to think about, and engagement is so important. Oftentimes when I go to a district, this is their number 1 thing they want me to work on. Their students are not engaged. How can they engage them? So could you enter in chat the thing that most engaged your brain? Breakout room, see, right? Because you're engaged, right? Yep. Yeah, doing it like a task, raising a task from a low level to high level puts you in high level thinking. How can I change this up? Okay, and finally, really just for Kelly and my thinking about our future, what is it you're like, wait a minute, I still need to know more about this. Just enter it in the chat. And then I just want to say, because there's a lot of stuff still just to talk about. I just want to thank you all so much. So happy that you've committed to this group. As I was saying to Kelly while you were in small groups, many of us are just hanging on for dear life at this point. You all not just hanging on, you're actually moving forward. You're really growing your own leadership skills. So it's a big commitment for you to do that. So humbled by that effort and appreciative.
Jenny, our relationship with you from Kentucky Math Teacher Leaders to you is that as the author of the book, thinking and coaching us and making our shifts, we appreciate that we keep circling back. Look, Jenny's waving at Paige Mattingly's little fella. Hey, little fella, we see you. With that in mind, we always circle back to what grit and perseverance and are part of the core values that we have. And so we're so glad that you guys took time today to connect back in with Kentucky Math Teacher Leaders. I'm taking my arms out. I'm wrapping around all of you guys. You're one of us, no matter how you can interact, and so glad that you were here. Jenny, as a thought partner, you are making a difference for math teacher leaders in the state of Kentucky. I dare say that no one across the nation has the author that guides our thinking, and we thank you so much. And Kentucky Math Teacher Leaders, think about it. You were just in an intimate 1-hour session with the author of the book, who happens to be a Kentucky Math Teacher Leader. And so when I say you are one of the best, I promise you, you are. So we hope that these sessions are bucket fillers for you. We are going to grab on to the chat, and Jenny will be with us again in the spring. I'll see you in mentoring sessions. If you haven't had a chance for your team to go ahead and sign up for your mentoring session, go circle back to that email, click on that Google Docs, sign up. I promise you, it's exactly the ray of sunshine that you're looking for. So thank you. And we'll see you.
Kelly.
Unmute and say, thank you, Jenny.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Have a great day, everyone. We really appreciate
Thank
your time.
you.
Thank you.
Say bye.